Good afternoon. Today I would like to talk to you about remote operations and asset management. And one thing that I'm President and CEO of MG Bryan Equipment Company, and one thing that we looked at when we were going out and visiting our customers, we distribute two things. We distribute engines, generators, power technology to that, and then we build oil field service equipment. So we build fracturing equipment, cementers, blenders, hydration to get the oil and natural gas out of the ground. So when we were out there visiting with our customers, we went out and looked at this, and we saw a disconnect between our customers and whoops, let me see it. Okay. We saw a disconnect basically talking with lower management or operations side all the way to the CEO and management in between right there. By doing that, we've embraced the cloud, we've embraced technology, and we've gone out there and said, how do we make sure that the CEOs, the presidents, the CIOs, the top management, the middle management, and the bottom is utilizing, taking care of this asset. These assets today are costing about $1 million to $1.5 million a piece, and there's $30 million on each well site. So when they're fracturing a well, we're talking about a lot of money that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort right there. And so what we were doing out there is looking at how the utilization of the equipment, return on the investment of the asset, and looking into how do we get that information to the upper management. If we can able to get that information to the upper management and use the cloud and all the different technology that is out there, we can do that. We can train our customers to become higher return on their investments. With higher return on investments, they buy more equipment, which means they buy more products from MG Bryan / we buy them from Rockwall and different vendors. We build oil field service equipment like I've been talking about. This is a typical frac unit. They run anywhere between 5,000 hours before engine rebuild. They consume a lot of filters every day. They'll need to change the filters up to one whole set during the day right there. So what we were doing is going with the cloud, we were able to take this technology, and we're able to take the technology out there, get the information to the operations managers. The operations managers are able to take care of the asset. And this is all done. We can use smartphones, tablets, all the new technology. And we're embracing this technology. And so by embracing it, we've seen to grow our business tremendously in a short period of time. This gets into a little more complicated stuff right here, but what we've done, we've used Rockwall Automation Cloud Platform with Windows Azure Cloud and the gateway all to run the frac unit. And the frac unit is a 2,500 horsepower engine, transmission, and pump. And they line up 12 to 20 of these on a job site, and that's what they pump down the earth, fracture the earth, natural gas comes out of the ground right there. So we're able to give real-time data back to not only the operations managers, but back to the billing department in looking at that utilization of the equipment, making sure that they're utilizing the equipment in a very timely manner, make sure they're not wasting a lot of fuel by idling. We're able to help our customers. We watched one customer that was just sitting there with 6 frac units just idling for 3 days straight. Never pumped with them, never did anything. We figured we did the fuel burn on it, and I think we saw that they spent about $18,000 in just fuel in 3 days, just idling these pumpers, not ever pumping. They were pumping with other pumpers, but why not turn these off? And we were able to go to upper management and show them with this, and they were very grateful for this because it gives them it gives them a training, it gives them a tool to train their personnel. And one thing that we're finding out here, again, with all, we're all talking about this, is the operations side versus the president, CEOs, the information, the management. There's a disconnect right there. Everybody's trying to do better, more with less, and everybody's worried about their jobs, how to keep their jobs and maintain their jobs. So what we're trying to do is use this as a tool and a training aid, not only showing a return on investment, but use this as a tool to train their employees, and not a big brother, but say, hey, we can look at the job, you made a mistake here, or this unit's having some issues, or and very similar to our last speaker right here, talking about we're able to look at where there is problems with equipment prior to complete catastrophe. So the engine right here cost, those engines are about $250,000 a piece. And so if we know that they're about to crater this engine, we can probably save this engine for $10,000 in doing service work. So we're able to monitor this at MG Bryan Equipment Company. So we're also telling them, hey, helping Big Brother, trying to help them to save money, which means that they make more money too. So again, we have real-time performance monitoring. We've lowered our warranty claims. So our vendors, as far as Gardner Denver pumps, Allison transmission, twin disc transmissions, MTU and Cummins engines, they're very grateful for what we've developed, because we can give them real-time data on what time this failure happened. We can go back and look at this, and this is all due to the cloud network right here. There is a lot of information in this cloud, though, and there is some information overload. And that's one thing that we are addressing today. We've been in this process for about an 18-month period developing this. And so there is a continuous amount of information overload. So we're trying to help our customers look at that information, dial it in, and help them. The other thing is we get operation history. So we are able, again, we talked about the fuel savings, and by the fuel savings, we can look at the history of the unit, have real-time data of the units. We also offer them online parts ordering. So when they do need filters, there's a navigation tool. They can hit it. We can ship that exactly to them, to the customer, because it's all based on the asset number right there. This is also helping them on the maintenance management side. On the maintenance management side, again, we're able to look at real-time numbers. Again, we watched pumps idle again for 3 days, so we're talking 72 hours of just idle time. So we might think at 150 hours we need to change the air filters, or we need to change the fuel filters, and that's $400 or $500 a piece on each one of them. And by going up to them and saying, you just idle these, you haven't really ran these units, so we really don't need to change the filters as much as we want. One thing that we are able to do, and what's really been grateful, is by having this through the cloud and everything, and we've used it today, we probably have had 2 phone calls today, we were able to online troubleshoot with our customers. And a lot of times we're able to online troubleshoot literally that quick, get them back up and running without sending a technician out to the job site. Those job sites can be anywhere in the world. They can be in China, they can be in the Middle East, they can be in Central and South America, they can be in Texas, they can be in North Dakota. But to get somebody to the remote location, as we saw earlier on Barry's slide right there, is very difficult sometimes. Most of the time, we are able to help and fix the problem within 30 minutes. Most of the time, it's maybe a sensor out, maybe just one little piece that's damaged or been pulled off, a plug or something that's happened right here. So we're able to monitor and help the customer in a timely manner. And that again, that's back to asset management, getting this, getting your return on your investment quicker. So, so that's kind of the stuff on, and this is just a basic frac unit right here. One good thing about we're able to offer fleet performance screens and look at trucks, locations, you know, the name. We're able to give this asset, and so we're able to give them, you know, green light, red light, and yellow light warranty. You know what's going on with their trucks. We can give them real live pumping data, so they know that they're pumping at 7,000 psi. They're utilizing 80% of their truck. It's under this much load and all that. And what comes back to is that they're not having to carry gigantic charts and big server farms and different things like that. We're able to go right back with the cloud network, come back and give them real-time information. So one thing that people don't realize about the oil and gas market is when you're fracturing a well or doing anything, you have to go back and refracture that well over time. So they're able to take this information, come back to that location, go back and say, we did this on job 32 in the Permian Basin at this field, go back and look at that job and say, we needed 12 pumpers, we need this much, we know it is under this pressure, and they can better utilize their sand utilization, better utilize their chemicals that they're pumping down, the better utilization of water, better utilization of just the total equipment. So that's some of the stuff that we're able to use, the cloud separating us versus our competition today. We're also able to support, you know, again, we're able to email our customers when we do see problems. We're also able to support on all mobile devices. So we're not just locked into an Apple or a Samsung or what, you know, different tablets or different phones, or so we're able to use all those. One benefit is just differentiating yourself from the customers. You have to look at yourself today, in my mind, is that if you're not accepting technology and accepting the changes that we're continuing to do, you're going to be out of business. And I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly, because if you're not changing and accepting all the new technology, we've had tremendous success of look at our phones today in the last 10 years from when we used to carry a big phone down. There's actually a computer that we talk on right there. So it's really important right there. We're able to give real-time visibility to the customer. We're able to give real-time visibilities. We're able to monitor and use the usage of consumables. So we're able to do better jobs of our people. The MG Bryan staff is able to do a better job helping our customers manage their utilization of their filter changes, their oil changes, everything. So one thing that is really awesome about the cloud too is that the infrastructure. It's very small compared to setting up server farms. Again, the information and the technology, it's letting smaller companies be able to give a lot of information to big companies. And so that's something that we've embraced, and that's one advantage that we have. Let's move on. One last thing right here is we're also taking, I just saw this right here, we're also taking old trucks, old frac units, old cementers, old blenders, old pieces of equipment, and retrofitting these equipment. And we're taking the same technology and being able to put it back on to older pieces of equipment and retrofit that equipment. So this equipment's not outdated is when it happens right there. So. And that's it right there. So thank you very much.